Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Chris Codina, and I'm here to introduce you to my new show, The Haunt Collection, a creepypasta analysis podcast. Basically what I'm doing here is sort of an introduction zero episode, where I just want to give some details on what to expect from the show, some details about myself, the whys and the whys of it, so I don't have to take up time on the main episodes, going into it there. Basically, what the Haunt Collection will be is I'll select creepypasta, online horror stories, that kind of thing. We'll read them, and as we go through them, I'll analyze, compliment, critique, criticize as the thoughts come to me. Basically just kind of react as it happens. I didn't really want to take diligent notes beforehand, because I felt like it would be too cold for me to be reading from notes and, things like that. I just kind of wanted the natural reaction as I have it. I think that's, a little more interesting, and I think that's just, more fun to listen to, rather than just me droning along, with notes. Other things you may see on the channel are random readings, where I'll go do No Sleep on Reddit, SCP Foundation, Creepypasta Wiki, sites like that. Click the random button and see what comes up, and we'll read that and analyze it. And we might see some mega trash tier level stuff, but at the least we'll have some laughs along the way, and who knows, maybe we'll find some hidden gems, which would be really fun. Something else you might see are kind of original tellings of real ghost stories, and you can put quotation marks around real if you like, depending on what you believe. Just imagine them there. Real ghost stories, cryptids, urban legends, that kind of thing. Maybe not as much analysis with those, or at least not the same kind of analysis as I will be doing with the other stories, but more just sort of my own version of them, my own telling of them. I have always liked the supernatural. I've always liked the paranormal, and I think they fit into the realm of online horror well, because they're sort of the precursor to it. Creepypastas are essentially modern-day urban legends at its core. So just kind of going into those is just it's an aspect of the storytelling, the real-world storytelling that influences these purely fictional stories that are the focus of the show. And I think they have a place on this channel in the discussion. Something else you might see on here, hopefully, will be original works of mine. I don't have too much written. I've always liked writing ever since I was a little kid, but I rarely finish things, and I even more rarely share them with people because I'm embarrassed, I'm shy, stuff like that. I just often don't think it's worth sharing. I don't think people will like it. But I'm hoping that through looking at these other stories critically and, just sort of focusing my energy into this, I will, find some inspiration for my own work. And if I do that and I like it enough, I will gladly share it here. I have at least one thing that I'm going to share in one of the earlier episodes, story I posted on No Sleep a few years ago. Basically, I wanted to do that because I don't want to be reading other people's stuff, criticizing other people's stuff, without having something of my own out there. I just don't want it to seem like I'm hiding behind my opinions or coming off like I'm just some expert. I don't know if anybody's really qualified to criticize creepypasta, because it's not a regulated thing, and there isn't standards necessarily. It's just sort of anybody can put it out there. There's definitely some that stick out more than the others, but there's some that stick out to some people that aren't so great in the minds of other people. So it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know if there is a set standard for creepypasta, but yeah, I just want to have something of mine out there. So while I'm reading other people's things to criticize, people have something of mine to criticize. It's just sort of a fairness thing. I would feel bad if, I kept myself, hidden behind the microphone, and while other people had to listen to me, tell them, the story is bad or whatever. Basically, is for the why that I'm doing this. I love the medium of online horror. I touched on it a minute ago, where anybody can do it, and that's something I appreciate. This medium has so much potential to produce great things, and it has. And I just want to highlight that. I want to put spotlight on it. I want to give love to it because it's a thing that I appreciate. I appreciate, the encouragement of creativity. I appreciate the encouragement to get better and to continue creating. And I think because it's horror, that also just adds a certain level to it, because that does make it more like the modern day campfire, because it's not just any story, it's a spooky one. It's meant, instead of the glow of the firelight, you're sitting in front of the glow of your computer reading the story and just getting yourself freaked out, getting yourself scared. And that's, that's something I appreciate, and I think it's something to be cherished. And that's why I decided to do this. This is mostly going to be on YouTube. I may post it elsewhere in iTunes or something. That isn't in the plan at the moment. You'll find out if I do, if you're listening to this on iTunes and not playing it on YouTube. But I know there is a strong horror community on YouTube. I am very much late to the party on it. I know there's some issues with it right now with how the ad revenue has affected certain people in the community. But I'm not really worried about that. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. I'm doing this for me as much as for anybody else, because this is something I like. I'm not worried about making money on this. I don't think I could if I wanted to. It's not something I've really looked into much. I'm not going to monetize my videos because I'm essentially using other people's work. And they were kind enough to put their stuff out there for free, so I'm not going to make money off it. That would be ridiculous. It's just, this is a passion project. It's not something I'm looking to make a living off of. It's just something I want to spread around, because I care about it. If people put ads on their narration videos, their creepypasta videos, that's up to them. That's not really my business, but that's just not something I'm fond of. I know I would be, annoyed if I wrote something and shared it with people and didn't make any money off it, because, I don't think a lot of creepypasta authors are necessarily trying to make money off, anything they post on No Sleep, because, you're not going to. And, if I put something out there, without the intention of making money, and someone basically just reads it and puts an ads on it and makes money off it, I'd be kind of annoyed by that. And that's not something I'm going to do. So yeah, it's, just the point is I care about this stuff, and I want to put the spotlight on it. I want to, put the spotlight on the authors, on, on the stories. I cherish stories so much. Some of the things that have influenced me on this is, going back, things like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I still have the 3 books over in my room with the original art and all that. I think I got them in the 3rd grade from the Scholastic catalog. Other inspirations who I want to give credit to are the Midnight Marinara Undercooked Analysis crew, David King, Dead Palette, Kayla, Slime Beast, Alan, all of them, Undercooked Analysis specifically has been such a big influence on me. I enjoy it so much. They inspire me a lot. They help stoke my appreciation for this medium. Other inspiration would be Jeff over at Creepypasta, who's also Creepypasta Analysis podcast and worth checking out. And then other horror podcasts that are not about analysis, but just about kind of spreading, this kind of thing. The No Sleep podcast, Knife Point Horror, even like Night Vale, the Black Tapes podcast. This kind of new way of presenting horror digitally. It's something that I really, really dig, and I just kind of wanted to jump in on it and just have fun with it like everybody else. I think that about wraps it up for this little introduction. I will see you soon with the real episodes, where we will start diving into some creepypasta. So until then, later.